say mine no see the mo be a Ghana for ni any kind farmer no ni abrofo be partner ya partner na sika no nka say obi gas South Africa Johannesburg ye gold woman na wo ye nyina ye South Africa for na ye enti so obo ase na kiyede ma ye ne bibifo ebisa na enso ye de kwaji sika se de omo kan ya krachifo akosua mining engineering ne ye nyina enti mfo mu mu nye eno na ne wo se eno ne asema da ho e wo se ye hwe ne ene Constitution Review Committee no hwe sa provision na wo constitution na ego mu no ye hunu ko ye de be fa so
Otumfuo Osei Tutu the second opem so otikoko so ese finally wan kasakra na ebu nanka wefo ebe kan na kan obi o se onti ase o se de bia ye de gold abrofo nko ne tomom na anglo gold Asantehene aba na yatam obo ase gold ni na monye nko na omagopiem otakwa ni atam gold ni na monye nko na ni mo fa be piem Kenya ase ene e friend se teacher ne hafo gold monye nko ma Ghana gold Ghana gold ma brofia obekono Ghana 10%, Ghana 15%, Ghana 5%. O say enti ya toma Ghana ni na Ghana ni to gold no Ghana na say gold no owie na for Ghana for ye enjoy much benefits ye ntimi negotiate enji much better percentage enten say de bia na ye gold ndie abrofo nko na wo nyansa omo nko na betuma ton ho akade e de betu na ye say yensa ase na sikari su na so eso nka asase so o se finally ono Otumfuo say Tutu wabre sa se me wanka bi kura na se wanko bi and o kama Ghana for ati ase say for now any person you Ghana near no so na obetuma to any mining sector o Ghana bia no ono Otumfuo say Tutu ka kire John Dramani Mahama then the vice Jena no Opoku any the sitting friends and party NDC say hey say NDC so AMPP mo abe mu nko ade a Ghana ni ekaso ohia bia mineral commission for ono na mo hwe na first ansa na makodwin foreigner oba ho na we na kan bia asem we eko ebe hu rough yegotie Otumfuo Osei Tutu the second kwaya for us to describe ye gold a ye ton ma brofo ema da bia na brofo no gusu a mudi yeso na Ghana for age low salary no abrofo na de o mafira buchira ba no o kan Ghana for be say 20 salary bomu ane broni ni allowance enye ne salary boni allowance ese tuta
say mine no see the mo be a Ghana for ni any kind farmer no ni abrofo be partner ya partner na sika no nka say obi gas South Africa Johannesburg ye gold woman na wo ye nyina ye South Africa for na ye enti so obo ase na kiyede ma ye ne bibifo ebisa na enso ye de kwaji sika se de omo kan ya krachifo akosua mining engineering ne ye nyina enti mfo mu nye eno na ne wo se eno ne asema da ho e wo se ye hwe ne ene Constitution Review Committee no hwe sa provision na wo constitution na ego mu no ye hunu ko ye de be fa so Western region Western North e wo nyina mines wo ho gold na hono nti omo ntimi inform company me yemfa ma before ne yemfa nkopebusi amba ma yema ehofo no nyina anya adwuma na sika no so nka Ghana eno ansa geological survey ne minerals commission wo ntimi ye survey hu ba bia deposit ne wo ye prepare de no to ho ma ye na chese obi braba say nete one na ka ne hu se ha na deposit wo ha na deposit wo enti se wo offense was as so a na ho ye hu no ne na ka wo he fast as so a ne hu ne na ti basa no a be kwa traditional council wanya bi de oba nso wanya bi na royalty na ye den equity na wo mu a wo so nya na da ho afebo ma mo dididie no royalty na ye ni abra ye ka ho
na de Otumfuo kai obeka se na we de efiri efiri bebe ka we na we me na manya asem wonim se na anu yai ade na hyehyɛ adi so ho Otumfuo say Tutu eba awura into mines na ono akanadi se ne ba no efa Ibrahim Mahama John Dramani Mahama ene Sam Jonah okan the executive board of engineers and planners aye John Mahama Ibrahim Mahama company omumienu ana ne mentors na Ibrahim Mahama kra de ne wofa prekopɛ no aye Otumfuo ne ba no Na Sam Jonah na ne mentor na mu. Into omo na aboa ma ne bai eso ne na ni agi mine ho onhwe owre to mine.
Thank you, Excellency the President, for allowing me to be the President of Ghana for the next 30 minutes or so. Thank you very much for the honor. My son, who is organizing this mining in motion, was trained by his uncle, Sam Jonah, and his brother, Ibrahim Mahama. So they trained him, looked after his school and everything, and then I see the reason why he's into mining is that Ibrahim influenced him.
Now we are to say Ibrahim Mahama, only the executive board member, Sam Jonah. Omo dealer omo kwako sadi we say baby engineers and planners ni Azuma resources for from Australia. Na ukopie mu apa west wa hono a black voter mines no omo ne kotoye. Na omo to wie na say omo hwe yara so omo ntimi ntu omo akade ni so a. Disade a omo hia so moton na we ana engineers and planners for aye Ibrahim Mahama ne dia no. Oka so ombeto. Na asem no omo start here no 100 million and the price I did to was engineers and planners from Famra no momento. Omo de yedeba. Omo go pay mo ECOWAS Development Bank. Say omo hia sika aye loan. Na nkomo de abeg make sure say omo tima akwa property no. Sika no omo twehwe ani mu ama. Now we some few weeks back and they say engineers and planners who say video no who say Ibrahim Mahama, Sam Jonah, and even Azuma Nelson. When you Azuma resources no when you on the one in just one. Only na say Ibrahim Mahama ne ba Sharaf Mahama Mahama ba. Every year ne boss ne you kaiso oni omo we no Ibrahim Mahama cheneka. They say dia wakabu shweni wan sa and don't forget say obi ofri bole bamboy de oni obi ofri friends in Bolagatanga omo enuafo na mu na free the same place anasa. Eti yehu Azuma Nelson ho yehu Sam Jonah ho yehu friend say Ibrahim Mahama ho yewe na amfo sha say so mo speculate say eh yeti na ajapade ebuku baaye ana ajapade yesi ye beton ye go de amfo e ko a companies ye create hu na say before mo ya ton ade na mama mo boa munya e go do maye munya e boss at maye mamo nton ana ne esisi omo Mahama so baaye yesi we de eyo nuapade before you could fa enti ya fa konti kwa bi so say Ibrahim Mahama so benya gold na we okatachi every brother gas ana wa shada ye charity sa na philanthropic work na ne na suzi penama nani na odi sikaba na Kofi Aduma ani na odi sikaba ene na odi na jet e de ama Otumfuo na odi na jet e de ama friend say John Dramani Mahama na akotena kan ni na otwi osi we nyina sa na ye settings.
Yeah, what you are reset. Where you recapture
Precisely.
And when you gonja robbers said you war to you for the ache mafias. So one or two mudi such mafias. What they were a robbery, modern day robbery. If you are taking the natural resources of the people, it is modern day robbery. Anya we are good for the bush for the almost think you two minerals in you and a whole royalties. Or more quaco investment or Mako did Kakra. What they also Makama Uncle for Crento. What they will run from Wakutu. Now we are the Master Major Visual Manager. And yes, sir. And yes, sir, President. It's Yamo Bianco Tongo, they see the gold engine by Ibrahim Mahama, engineers and planners.
Why, my Fagana food in internet, Nasan by Ghana food to me Kabu. And Tireno or Quaco just loan, Eddie Ababe gold society, Ninia, and one Amanenya. Now, when Sam Jonah catches a look, we are on merit and any political influence. We are a private institution as a private company. I Azuma Resources and Airton Omu Company. I the Black Voter Mines, in the Upper West. I am another private company. I Ibrahim Mahama. The only thing I woman say Ibrahim Mahama.
Today, I feel vindicated. Engineers and Planners, a wholly owned Ghanaian company, has secured $100 million facility from ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development to acquire the Black Volta Gold Project. Now, this will be the first large-scale, indigenous-owned gold mining project in country, a long overdue breakthrough and a powerful symbol of what is possible when vision meets courage and ambition meets execution. Ladies and gentlemen, this is happening at a very opportune time. John Mahama, our president's government, is pursuing an aggressive policy agenda aimed at promoting greater Ghanaian participation in the industry. The initiative by ENP gives strong credence to the government's commitment, not just in word, but in deed. Indeed, it is a practical expression of policy vision that seeks to anchor resource nationalism in indigenous entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, let us be clear. And I repeat, let us be clear. This is not a favor. There is no political patronage here. This is not crony capitalism. This is not about friends and family. The deal we are witnessing here today was actually initiated as far back as 2023, October, with no fanfare, no interference, and no backroom dealings. It is, in every sense of the word, a commercial transaction built on merit, backed by a strong balance sheet, and grounded in solid business fundamentals. Ladies and gentlemen, the courage and foresight of ENP under the distinguished leadership of Ibrahim Mahama, who I first met in 1998, when he came to seek advice about entering the mining industry, deserves our highest commendation. Back then, his interest was alluvial mining and specifically Kibe gold resources. He came to see me with his partner, Richard Levac, and I said to them that while alluvial mining was unlikely to yield sustainable returns, hard rock mining was the future. The young man then, now he's got gray hair, listened. He built a company. He earned the respect of the industry, and now he stands tall, poised to fulfill a vision that many considered impossible. Congratulations, Ibrahim. You have made us all proud. Ladies and gentlemen, the success of this deal is not just about one company. It is about national economic transformation. For far too long, the mining industry in Ghana, despite its immense contribution to exports and foreign exchange, has been largely disconnected from the broader economy. Why, we may ask? Because the ownership has been foreign largely, the procurement has been offshore, and the capital goods have come from abroad. There has been little integration, weak linkages, and minimal domestic value creation. Ladies and gentlemen, this must change, and it starts today. The move by ENP represents precisely the kind of change we need. When Ghanaians own the mines, when the decisions are made here, and when the value is retained within our borders, the contribution of this industry to Ghana GDP, job creation, and industrial development will be significantly enhanced.
Na kai se ampa Otumfuo na nu yayi okọ ne back graduation or the Ibrahim Amajet and the koye ene no kure enti Otumfuo na so se asisu dua bio se Ibrahim Mahama no eye ni nua na ne ba eye Ibrahim Mahama e wo faase enti amanfo cha say ye link up say as a nansen ye say the rapport between na friends Otumfuo say Tutu and John Mahama ama John Mahama kura confirm say on president here we from the days of vice president in 2012 2009 it took Otumfuo say to because no so with politics and the two no for ema was say na adwene be vice president to also be president and was ababiu abe president friend John ababiu yi enti amanfo link here minim mete link na say. But my to me boss say me hwehwe mu a. Mu say oh. The very person that all speculators have particular deal with. On business I don't know. I be go through our questions wo ho no. Bryce Simon. Oh yeah, a friend, the president in Imani Ghana.
Is there beautiful and I haven't politicized it. Even though people forget, but Mr. Ibrahim Mahama is a politician in his own right.
By the way,
don't talk about he's a brother of the president. It's more than that. He's his own big player in politics.
Does it matter that this thing happened before his brother won the election?
No. Because people think everything is about the president. No. Mr. Ibrahim Mahama himself is a major player in Ghana's politics. Okay. I have interviewed people who tell me that when it comes to the political landscape, he's formidable. Okay. In terms of supporting, financing, all manner of things. Okay. So he himself is a politically exposed individual in his own account.
You haven't linked it to his brother's president?
Not necessarily.
You haven't done that.
The only challenge I've had is that there are political undertones because they are the two people that was nominated by him are appointees, either previous or current appointees of the president. So they work in government. One of them has an affiliation with Senate. The other has an affiliation, actually runs the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. So you have people who are government officials and they are sitting on the private board involved in this murky conflict. It suggests that there's a problem.
Explain that. So sorry, let me get straight. GIF is the infrastructure fund for the country.
Yes.
Do we know government's policy around ownership of mines and whether they think GIF has a role to play?
I think that there's a connection there because GIF can provide infrastructure to mining areas. So my concern is not that he's supposed to be doing pineapples, but somehow he's found himself in mining. My concern is that because he's a government official, he runs one of the national sovereign funds. If he's involved in a heated battle like this, for a lot of objective bystanders, that suggests potential political.
So which of the two came first? Was he on the board before he became GIF, or GIF before board?
No, one of them had been appointed in the first administration of the current president. And then subsequently, now I'm told that he's being considered for another appointment in the government again. The other one was made the head of the whatever before the launch. So my argument is they are government officials, right? So if they are involved in a conflict and they are directors and they are part of the camp of EMP, and then an objective bystander looking at it, then how can the private company get level playing field? You have even government officials working for EMP, sitting on their board, and because the EMP brought them there, there might be a perception that they can exercise some governmental influence. So all of that creates political undertones around it.
Now, Papa no Ibrahim Mahama, engineers and planners, Air Force was for defamation say wakokasa on the same gold issues here. Edetia Ibrahim Mahama. Just Papa also a personal vendetta with Ibrahim Mahama. And you are taking some far and near to understand say Ibrahim Mahama minings are no a friend say Sierra Leone or the seminar befra Sansin Wimu. According to others, I also take about the point in national look. As a Bryce Simon has a same way there, what for a personal. But a private company selling a company for a private company there. And Kenya news. And also what about the involvement of the ECOWAS? Because currently the ECOWAS Development Bank is being headed by a finance minister, Kessel Otumfuo. I want to free NDC. I don't the money, mama. Ebio, say oh to change na bedrua. Ubeza who says Sikana yapene so yede mom. Initially, the ECOWAS Development Bank was a bit reluctant to do it, but all of a sudden, after say Kessel Otumfuo in blue or mapene so much. Now, when I'm also really massa. So far, BBI who say BBS, and unfortunately, Azuma Resources Force actually let tin and the abaze. Brasamo on Casamo on your Pierre, on your Mohe, Omunimo Bibia, Jocasa on one Adrian Oka. They will know Omoni Ibrahim Mahama, the company, engineers and planners, almost settled BBI amicably. For now, there was an issues regarding Sikana Neso Mutiano Antino. Na confusion na yebasa ndio mako arbitration na omusiesi se bibia be ka furu ama the minister on the hwe yensa as so minister of lands e dey am say look omo some few days omo fan settle na omo kama asem ni furu na purchase no finally enye confirmed ni ento efuru musem na when na am for a advocate say look and then a more opportunity for Ghanaians omo capability so metima only Ghanaian mind because look a lot of these galam says are air cost no. One thing. Because a lot of Ghanaians are not being included. They are not owning the mines. Enti, Emma Quine, Emma, they look, Emma Munisika, Emma Brofon Kwame Fanko, so no one critique Galamsey side. And because Abrafusun himself or Moya Gidi Gidi, community will rise against them. Most Galamsey side started with people who were in that mining areas are no more employed into that mining sector, and they created that Galamsey, you know. And I teach you for some account, money dorsum. And as it stands now, yen timi nyai gold lutu, because currently your economy, you know, is being stabilized by gold board, and gold board is here more gold to have more gold, to sell more gold, to get more dollars. So meaning that we have to still find a way to be getting our gold. In the other, I am empower ye Ghanaians for no me timi only good mess. And na Otumfuo Osei Tutu catch no say ugupi South Africa. Most of mining companies in South Africa is owned by the South Africans. The only thing I do Ghana there, Anglo Gold Ashanti, friend is saying Newmont. Then everybody in the area from Kwa. In the emirason say you empower ye Ghana for no mwanga zangasa umuntimin too good. And the way any ensema Otumfuo Osei Tutu or take a course or the Otigo Nankasa no swono. Wakasa na asema okani asimtia yenshe Ghana for den yenshe munkran no mutimi only gold mines out Ghana ha emraso say we Ghanaians can create our own country with our own resources by giving it to Ghanaians for them to manage it properly for us, because Ghana ni edi bone na do ebi a yeso fie friends e fie pete area na ma o we mebika jo ye sure say Ghana ni nkwa dia ebi ebeka wey me na true say na also wadwen ye wo as it stands now. Look, Ibrahim Mama paid the Azuma resources they beto the legitimate fi ni ho